Hello and welcome to the video review of Hunt for the Decepticons, Insecticon, and Breacher. So picked these guys up off of Amazon.com this week, and I am a little bit disappointed. Both of these figures are interesting, but in their own right, but they both have some severe flaws, or what I'm seeing as flaws in these figures. Let's start off with the size comparison. As you can see, both figures are in their alternate modes, and they're actually packaged in their robot modes, which I completely understand that. That's something the Hunt for the Decepticon line has been doing lately. Breacher is a small little C-worthy personnel carrier. I mean, that's what he is, and he was designed to fit with sea spray, which I have right here. So, fits just perfectly nicely back there. Insecticon, sort of. But, so for the purpose of this review, I'm actually going to review both of them a little bit separately, but I wanted to do a combo review since I got both of these guys at the same time, and they're supposed to be enemies, I think, but whatever. So we'll look at Insecticon in a little bit, but let's go ahead and take a look at Breacher. And as you can see, Breacher is this little six-wheeled APC vehicle. My big problem, even though this mode looks really good, my big problem has to do with the way these panels line up, in the fact that on this side of the figure, which would be his right side, they don't. Period. And I'll show you why when we get this guy transformed, which we're going to move into right now. So we'll come back here and open that up, and that will allow us to lift this whole section and fold it forward. We'll take the gun, and we're actually supposed to pop the gun off. Now, there's a real problem with my figure in that this panel falls off completely. And the reason for that is, if you look right there, that hole is not drilled well, and it looks like it's been melted. So there is the actual peg, this metal peg right here, is supposed to fit in this hole. It doesn't. It slides off to the side here. So this is a major manufacturer error that I'm going to have to figure out if I can fix or not. So we'll put the panel off to the side because it'll just fall off later. So to transform him, we're going to get this thing out of the way. We're going to come under here and then kind of fold all of this part down and this part down and out of the way, and this will form the legs. We'll close these, split the legs apart, and fold down the feet. So he's standing like that. Then we'll turn this guy all the way around like this. And then this gets a little bit tricky. We have to turn this around like that. And there's that channel there which will allow you to slide this part all the way back. Before we do that though, we're going to come up here and flip this all the way around like that, and flip that forward like that, collapse that down, come under here and unpeg the wheels, which will form the arms, put them out straight. Then we can just go ahead and rotate this whole section around and bring it down. Now it doesn't actually snap into place, or at least on mine it doesn't. So what I did was, I came back, he just kind of folds up and rotates around. And then we will just try and position everything in such a way that nothing falls apart. So while the fist is down, rotate that forward, and then this entire section swivels around and pops off, which is a real problem. My figure, as you can see, things pop off left and right. I just did it again. I mean, I'm putting no pressure on it, and it just shoots and launches off across the room. So there we go. You know what? I'm just gonna It just popped off. I'm just going to throw it off to the side. So here we have Breacher in robot mode. And you know what? I really do dig this robot mode. I think the robot mode is great. And the face for the robot is actually really nice. In fact, it kind of reminds me of a blue and white sideswipe head for some reason. Unfortunately, it pops off way too easily. I'm just trying to move it to the side. It just launches. When I first took him out of the box, this panel fell off, the gun fell off, his one leg popped off, and his head shot off. So, yeah. For his gun, this is actually pretty cool. This little hook will latch right here on the front, and then you just straighten it out. So he's literally got a fist-mounted gun, which actually I dig. But then again, every time I put it on, I will just flick it and it will fly off. All the other joints are very, very tight. I mean, they are tight. But that's the problem. You have to force them to move. The screw joints aren't too bad, and these ball joints are okay, but these joints, fist joints, head, and obviously the things that hold the panels are all way, way too tight. They just fly off. So this guy, I really can't recommend him, but if you have to have him, or if he's a figure you really, really want, just be forewarned. He's not going to stay together really well. At least mine doesn't stay together. I don't know about any of the other reviewers. I haven't watched any other video reviews on him. But he doesn't stay together well at all. And he looks awesome in robot mode. His vehicle mode's kind of boring, to be honest. It is. Oh yeah, he's got a butt flap, which you can just raise up out of the way. Posability, if you can get him in some poses, he looks good. But otherwise, I really can't recommend him simply because the quality control issues on this figure are just unacceptable. So, now that we've taken a look at Breacher, let's go ahead and take a look at Insecticon. Now, Insecticon is actually a cool little insect, but my biggest problem in this mode, which is a six-legged mode with an abdomen, well, there are a few little issues, and these are more nagging issues. One, these wings and these legs are on pivots that are part of the transformation. They don't lock into place at all, so every time you move it, it comes unpegged. The wings aren't posable. They can move out like that, and that's it. Otherwise, they are completely unposable. In this mode, you can see the robot head, clear as day. I thought I was transforming it wrong. Nope, I am not. Robot head, clear as day. And the color. I just don't care for the color. But that is something that I could easily fix. I could repaint it. But there are some issues with this mode. The bug face is actually pretty cool. And these mandibles, you can pose. They're a little tight, but you can sort of pose them. But I actually really do like the Cybertronian bug face. So for the transformation's actually pretty ingenious, I think. You take these bits and you rotate them up here, like that. So we've got it rotated up like that. You take this whole section, swing it back, and then you take this, rotate the robot head up, and then you fold it back to connect underneath what was the abdomen. And you fold out the leg, or the front of the feet anyway, or the back of the feet or whatever. You rotate those around, and there you have bug mode, or robot mode, sorry. Now, in the instructions into bug mode, you have to have the legs positioned like this. Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's another major issue. These don't lock into place at all. It looks like they're supposed to ratchet down or be pushed back, but nothing locks into place on this guy. Oh, and you can take the wings and just kind of pose them to be straight back, kind of like a cape, which is actually pretty cool. But that makes the figure horrifically top-heavy. So, positives. I actually kind of dig the robot mode. It's different. I mean, it is different. And the robot head is actually pretty cool. I mean, it's something unique. There we go. But the figure in itself is very, very top-heavy. I mean, you've got these arms that are effectively no real hand syndrome going on. The arms are actually posable. He kind of reminds me of a very buggy Goro from Mortal Kombat. But the arms are posable. I mean, they're fully posable, so that's a bonus. But as you can see, every time I move one of the arms, this thing wiggles around. There's nothing locking it into place, which is a shame. He's very top-heavy, as I said earlier, with these wings. I mean, you can pose the wings up like that, and that will help a little bit, but it just looks really stupid. Oh, and yeah, these legs, they're not on like ball joints or anything. They're on hinge joints, or these hinges. And the more you move them, the more they'll just come loose and pop off. And that's the way it is on these. Posability-wise, as you can see, I mean, there is quite a bit of posability in this figure. Oh, and yeah, those slide off and pop off as well, very easily. So there is posability in the figure, and that's not bad. I'm sure this guy is going to get a repaint, probably as like a Venom or Insecticon or a Bugly. Actually, a purple and yellow version of this guy would actually be very, very cool. I don't know. I can't recommend him. I just can't. He's got too many issues. Yeah, out of the two, I would pick him up over Breacher. But Breacher is a significantly larger figure. Breacher's robot mode is awesome. It is just awesome. But his quality control issues and the fact that his transformation is, I'll be honest, it's a deluxe class level of a transformation in a scout class figure, and it really, I think, hurts the figure in the long run. Now, Insecticon on the other side, on the other end, is a much more simple transformation, but neither of the modes are very compelling. I mean, you've got a bug and then you've got a bug robot. But like I said, if Hasbro repainted this guy correct with really nice colors, maybe some more bright colors against darker colors, that would be awesome. So, sadly, I can't recommend either figure. I just don't care for them. There are too many problems with both of them. If there were better quality control on Breacher, I would definitely recommend him. Insecticon has some design flaws, but, you know, looking like this, it doesn't look too bad. I just can't get past the color scheme and the fact that the figure just doesn't stay together and there's no real robot or insect mode to speak of. Well, there are two different modes, I will admit that, but I just don't care for them. So, I'm going to have to say pass on both of these guys, and that's really a shame because I was really, really looking forward to both of them.